guys, welcome to your first Visual Basic tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll just be showing you guys how to start a project, and we're going to begin working with some GUI elements. To begin, go to File, New, hit Project. Under the Visual Basic tab, go to the Windows Form application, and we're going to name this VB Lesson 1. Oh, I had an exclamation point. But it's supposed to be a 1, but I accidentally hit the exclamation point. To show you some tools on this project, this is our form. This is where we can drop elements like a button or a combo box or all these other tools that we have like labels, and we can edit them using our properties window. If there's ever a time where you don't have your toolbox, you can find it by going to View, Toolbox. That's also the same for any other window that you're missing. To find the properties, it's actually in the other windows. It took me a minute the first time I built a project to find that. Just wanted to show you that to start off. Anyway, click on your form. We're going to change the title to "What is your favorite dessert?" and hit enter. Take this label, move it up a little bit, and then let's change the title of the label to be Select : and this is a combo box. You've seen these on many applications. What we're going to do is create some items that we can select from this. In order to do this, click on the combo box and scroll down to Items. Double click and hit the ellipse. Let's put a list of dessert items that you like. For me, it's going to be cheesecake, brownies, sundaes, brownies, cupcakes, candy, ooh, you know what I love? Cowtails. If you haven't had these, you haven't lived. I think my other favorite candy would be cotton candy. Alright. We have a list of items that we like. These items, you see how it's enter the strings in the collection? These will now be items within our combo box. Hit OK. Take this button, move it towards the center, and let's resize this form. We need to change the name of our button. The text will say "Pick." And when I say we need to change the name, when we program, we need to change the name of our button. What this means is the reference name. So go to Name under the Design and Properties, change it to Button Pick, and hit enter. You won't see any change right here. It will be in the code that we'll see the change. For the combo box, go to Name and put C box and put desserts. Hit enter. Let's run our form. If you actually click on the combo box, nothing will show up until we run it. If you look at the application we've generated, it's not going to do anything. We'll except have the populated list here. But this button isn't doing anything. We need to change that. So exit off this, and in order to code, the fastest way to access it is to double click on the button. This sets up our first segment of Visual Basic code. The Windows applications are made up of small code segments called event handlers. These handlers react to specific actions of the user. basically in a Windows application, the application is waiting for us to click on something. They're waiting for us to do something, and then when we do click on a button or we type into a text box, the application responds in turn. Now, let's begin coding. Inside of where, between private sub and InStone, on our button click, the dot click being the event, type dim dessert as string and hit enter. What we've done here is we've declared a variable named dessert with the data value of string. Data values are used with variables, and what they are is a way to represent data. There's multiple ways that we can represent data, that be in a number format, a string format, or a character format. This is a string format. What we're now going to do is pass dessert a value of cbox dot text. What you can see now is that dessert, which is declared as a string value, now equals the text inside of the collection of our combo box. So the words brownie or cupcake or cheesecake now belong to the dessert value. What we're now going to check is if our dessert equals cheesecake, then we pop a message box up that's going to say dessert and make sure you put a space right here at this parenthesis is my favorite too. This and sign, the ampersand, is representative of a concatenation. What this means is we take a dessert and basically attach it to is my favorite too. So it's going to take this variable, which could be cupcakes or brownies or cheesecake, and it plugs that value into here and then displays it. Now, we need to have an else part of our if statement, because sometimes we have more than one option, so we need to prepare for those different options. So we need to say dessert, concatenate it. It is not my favorite, but it is still tempting. End your quotation mark. And hit save for a good measure too. What we're saying now is that if our dessert is picked to be cheesecake, or whatever your favorite dessert is, then it's going to say, hey, that's my favorite too. However, if it's brownies or cupcakes or anything else, it's going to say, that is not my favorite, but it is still tempting. Save your project. Click back on the designer and double click on the main form. What we're going to do now is select a default value for our combo box. And how we're going to do this is type combo, cbox selected index equals 2 or 1 or 3 or whatever you want your default value to be. Save. Now we're ready to run our program. Hit the green arrow to run it. This form looks very much like the one that we just built. So now click and go to cheesecake or what you want. I'm going to use cotton candy first and hit pick. Cotton candy is not my favorite, but it's still pretty tempting. Hit OK. And if we go back to the one that we said was our favorite, which would be cheesecake, then hit pick. Cheesecake is my favorite too. That is how we work with some very basic Visual Basic code. So exit out and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.